This video will be a full tour and documentation of this 2019 Nissan Kicks SR. This Kicks is painted in cayenne red metallic. It does have intelligent key. The front door panels do have storage areas. And of course, you get power windows, power door locks, and power mirrors. Standard on the SR trim is a charcoal cloth interior with orange accenting throughout. Front seats are manually adjusted. And now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and kick things off by starting the engine. On the key fob, you got the buttons for lock, unlock, panic, and remote start. And with intelligent key, it also has push button ignition. The Kicks is Nissan's current entry in the quite popular subcompact crossover segment. It made its debut for the 2018 model year and is currently still in its first generation. It serves as a replacement for the Nissan Juke, which was sold in North America from 2011 to 2017. While the Juke actually entered a second generation in a couple of international markets, other markets, like North America, did not get the new Juke, and instead got the brand new Kicks model. In most markets, the Nissan Kicks utilizes the platform of the Nissan Versa. However, in India, they actually receive a different Kicks, which uses a different, slightly larger platform, although it looks quite similar to the Kicks sold in most markets. One downside, depending on what you're looking for, is that the Kicks has yet to be offered with any sort of all-wheel drive system like some of its competitors. But of course, that's not an issue if you don't need it. I've got to admit that I'm personally a really big fan of its styling and think it's one of the better looking cars in its class right now, and it especially looks sharp in this cayenne red color. There is also a gas-electric hybrid variant, but as of now it's only sold internationally. The same could be said about a manual transmission Kicks. For 2021, the Kicks received a mid-cycle facelift which refreshed the styling and added some new features. As for the 2019 model year US market Kicks, it was offered in 3 different trim levels with one sole choice of powertrain combo. Said trim levels include the base S, the mid-range SV, and the range-topping SR like the one in this video. A 122 horsepower 1.6-liter inline-four engine, a CVT automatic transmission, and front-wheel drive all come as standard. Although this one doesn't have it, you can also get the Kicks in a number of two-tone exterior colors, and make it more of your own with some other available cosmetic upgrades. The SR trim also adds an integrated dynamic control module to further improve driving dynamics. Competitors in 2019 included the Honda HR-V, Ford EcoSport, Toyota CHR, Mazda CX-3, Chevrolet Trax, and numerous others. In Nissan's 2019 US crossover lineup, the subcompact Kicks is the smallest, slotting below the slightly larger Rogue Sport. Now the instrument cluster does house one physical analog gauge, which is the speedometer, but the rest of it is all digital. And you can control that via the buttons right here. So right now, it's showing your tachometer, your fuel gauge, But there's several different menus you can go through. Right now we're in settings, your usual kind of stuff like that. Trip info, different driving aids. You have blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, fuel economy info, and back to there. Also have your audio info. And you've also got this button to go between mileage, trip A and trip B. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped, multifunctional steering wheel. There are sport grips at 10 and 2. It does have a flat bottom design, along with some orange color contrast stitching. As for controls, on this side you have your audio controls, along with your information display controls, or gauge cluster controls. And on this side you have your hands-free phone voice commands, along with your cruise control. This is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel. Some storage for the driver, traction control, air vent for the driver. Right here is your exterior lighting stock. And on this side you got your wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, you have your passenger airbag indicator, air vents up top, your hazard light switch, touchscreen interface for your Nissan Connect infotainment system. Go over that more in a bit. Got all the controls for your single zone automatic climate control. Got a USB port, an aux port, and a power outlet. Some storage. In front of the gear shifter, your push button start. Putting it in reverse does reveal your backup camera along with your overhead camera. This button on the shifter right here will toggle between normal and sport driving modes. The parking brake is hand operated. You got 2 cup holders, more storage, or I guess a 3rd cup holder for the rear passengers. Got a couple of USB ports. And the driver's front seat does have an armrest. I do like this stitched leather looking trim. I think it looks really nice, especially for an entry-level crossover. Garage home link. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors, lights, and extensions. And the driver's side one also has this little card holder, overhead lighting, and there are grab handles at all 4 corners. And here's the Nissan Connect infotainment system. Right now we're on our home screen. You are able to customize that, configure what the home screen shows. Audio status, got your main sources to listen to music, AM, FM, Bluetooth audio streaming. Got a phone for connecting phone, audio, and in addition to that you also have Sirius XM connections, like we might have paired via Bluetooth and whatnot. Info, system information, vehicle data, and then your pretty standard looking settings menu. And then with this camera button, you can toggle between your different exterior cameras. You got the front camera, also that overhead camera that you saw earlier, curbside, so it's helpful if you're parking on the side of the road, you don't want to scrape the curb. And I'm pretty sure that's the gist of it, unless I did forget something, which I apologize. And now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window. Both front windows are fully automatic. And have a look at the engine bay. The SV and SR trims come with these upgraded 17-inch alloy rims. Kicking around the Kicks is a 1.6-liter naturally aspirated inline-four. It's a dual overhead cam 16-valve engine with continuously variable valve timing, and it produces 122 horsepower at 6,300 RPM and 114 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. This engine is paired to Nissan's X-Tronic continuously variable automatic transmission, which delivers power to the front wheels. Running on regular unleaded with a 10.8-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for the Kicks are 31 mpg in the city and 36 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a torsion beam rear setup. Stopping the Kicks are front ventilated disc brakes and rear drum brakes. Base curb weight for the Kicks SR is about 2,672 pounds. As you saw earlier, the fuel cap is located on the driver's side. The rear door panels do have bottle holders. (60/40) split folding rear seats. Both front seats do have storage pockets on the backs. You also got that cup holder for the rear. Now, rear seat space, as someone who's about 6 foot to 6'1", I did put the driver's seat to where I would have it if I was driving, and legroom is not the greatest. If I kind of cross my legs, adjust them around, my legroom's not horrible. But it's not the most spacious, but it is still, considering this is a subcompact crossover, I'd say this is actually
better than average. And I could easily see, you know, someone smaller than me or someone my size with someone smaller driving, or both. I could see the backseat actually being surprisingly comfortable for this class. And then headroom, my head is not even touching the ceiling yet, so that's a plus. I'm quite impressed by this car. I do think it just looks nice inside and out. Nicely equipped for being an entry-level crossover. I think the only downside is that it's not available with all-wheel drive, which some competitors are. But, I mean, there are some people who don't need all-wheel drive at all, so front-wheel drive, that's, you know, it all comes down to personal taste and personal needs. Single exhaust, rear wiper.
The Kicks offers 25.3 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear seats up, but you can fold them down to increase space to 32.3 cubic feet.
Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2019 Nissan Kicks. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.